Hello, it's me again. Um, my ears are still shot. I hear buzzing whenever I speak. It's bad. But we're fine now. For once in my life, I went to sleep early. 3 a.m. is early for me. Don't even ask. But feeling good. Eyes are crusty still, so I might need to wash my face again. Probably didn't wash it right the first time. Um, but I mean, I was still sleepy. So when I get up to go to class, I probably will just wash my face again. But that is not the point of today's video. What is the point of today's video? Actually, I don't even know. I kind of just booted up the camera and I was going to just start rambling. But the idea I had in my mind was average. So for a while now, I feel like in every social media I've had, I kind of just went the title of average pretty much everywhere. It's like average life enjoyer, average manga enjoyer, average. I don't even remember most of my users. Most of my users of social media, but almost always they had average in them. It wasn't until recently till I changed my YouTube account that I named it just Life Enjoyer, just so like more chances of the algorithm showing my stuff. Still didn't happen, by the way. There's another channel called Life Enjoyer that has more subs than me, so it's always gonna show them first. So failed plan on my end. But where am I going with this? So for a while, average was just kind of like the term I used for like my accounts everywhere. So like Instagram or I actually not even Snapchat. Snapchat's just been the same thing for like years. So I just never changed it. It's just like a legacy account. And on Discord I don't think I've changed anything to average. It's just the same. So like the main ones were Instagram when I still had it, and YouTube. Which is why I kinda wanna make a video today about that term. Cause average is probably the best way I could describe myself. The other word that comes to mind is mediocre. Cause for a while, and I let it haunt me for years, I was like, well, everybody has something special, right? About them. So I was desperate, even obsessed with finding something I was like special in, right? Not because to me the biggest fear was fuck, being, just average or forgettable, I guess. Which, I mean, the problem is still there. Like, there's still a lingering fear down there, but it's not really anything that plagues me as much anymore at the moment. Not at the I have to say at the moment, because for whatever reason it might just spring up again, but not right now. So yeah, for a while I was obsessed with just being more than average or normal, because it was installed to me from pretty much birth, I want to say, that average is the worst possible thing ever by my parents. So pretty much everybody in my life, including my parents, has been like, you have to be more than average. You don't want to be part of the, of the mass, the sheep, etc. The words they would use. So for years, for me, it was like, oh, I have to be more. I have to find my special something. I have to be good at something. And that was my quest for, how old am I? Like 20? About to be 21. And it was, what year would I say I kind of came to the realization that it was futile? Probably 17, but I still had like that weight that I had to be more than just average, that I had to be exceptional, I had to be good at something, and it just never came. I tried everything. I tried sports, I tried video games, I tried writing, etc. This YouTube channel, nothing ever took off. I never became the best at really anything. That was a weight that I just kind of held with me for years, which I think I I haven't told my parents about. What I mean, what would really change if I tell them just like, oh, well, everyone has that weight, and they would probably just like double down and try to make me feel worse about not being exceptional or anything. So I just kind of don't tell them anything. So it's just been there, just plaguing me, eating me from the inside, that I just have to be more than what I am. And it's never come about. Fighting games, any video game really, even Roblox and obbies, I just don't. I'm middle of the pack. I've never been great or the best at anything. And it's that weight that's just been haunting me for my entire life now. And I remember it was during winter break, I had this phone call and a talk with my sister, where I was probably at the lowest I had been in a while since my last relapse, which was sophomore year. Yeah, sophomore year. And I was just talking to her about, like, I kind of, I kind of just feel like a disappointment to, my peoples, right? My parents, my dad specifically, because never in my life, I don't think I've ever heard a word of encouragement from my father my entire life. I don't think. And it's only just been reprimanding, and do better. It's not enough. And that just kind of just killed me from the inside, which, I mean, I feel like everyone's parents does that, but I am not exactly the strongest mental person ever. And I had a phone call with my sister. She told me something. Like, at the moment, I was like, oh, well, why would you say that? But now that I think about it more, it's like, yeah, she was right. Oh, but I mean, she's the one that has a house and a kid now, so it's pretty good life for right now. Of course, everything can change, but like for right now, she's doing good. But yeah, just sad to think about what she told me. It was like me bawling my eyes out about being pretty much just a useless disappointment to my family, which I still feel is true. But I feel like I've just come to terms with it at this point. Because nothing they wanted me to do have I done. So, like, me even going to college was not something they wanted me to do at first. Because my parents were split about that. My mom was like, yeah, he needs to go. But my dad was like, no, it's useless, this, that, and the other. It tells my mom that was telling me to go to college, but it was more so to prove my dad wrong, that she was right, rather than actually wanting me to go to college, I guess. And that was their main argument. In fact, before I even came here, I remember she told me, she was like, oh, you can't fail, because if you fail, your dad's gonna get on both of us that he was right the entire time. So I was like, oh, okay. I remember she said, you don't have the luxury to fail, even though so it's just been that weight for these past 3 years now, and that I've been in college. So when I had that phone call with my sister, she told me, don't be scared to be a failure. Embrace it, basically. Be a failure in their eyes. And I get what she means, because she went through the same thing, if not worse. Because my mother felt more responsibility with her, since she was a single mother when she had my sister. So she kind of went really hard on my sister. And if anybody would know, it would be her if I talked to her about my parents. Like, my dad stepped in to be her dad too. But again, this is all side tangents. Back to the main core of the point. For years, she was kind of considered the same thing I am now, which is the disappointment of the family, kind of. The what's it called? Yeah, the failure, kind of. But she pushed through still, and now they accept her. Like they're like, she's her gold. She's their golden child, and it's W W. Um, it's nice to see that she's finally getting the recognition she deserves from my parents, even though maybe it was what she was working for, or maybe it's not, and it just came about when she got better in her life. But these people will pound you down until you are nothing. And if you don't go through what they are putting you through, you are a failure. So she ended up, I guess, redeeming herself in my parents' eyes. So they love her. And the thing they're doing now is kind of just like comparing me to her, and they want me to be her, which is something that she's fought for me, where she's like, well, he doesn't have to be me. He has to be his own person. You can't just try to make him how you want, like how I am, or make him the way you want him. It's something my parents don't understand, because that they think they hide it, but like I hear the conversations. We're like, well, he has to do this, that, and the other. He has to be this. He has to be this, because I want him to be the way I want him to be, and he does not have a and say in who he gets to be in life, right? Even still, that's probably still the same sentiment, because I remember the most vivid memory I have of this example is the fact that probably since middle school, my dad has been making me send his invoices to his not owners, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, bosses, kind of. Employers. I have to send invoices for him to his employers to get his money, right? Get paid. I've been doing this in middle school, and like the biggest red flag I had was that I was in the car with my mom, about to go to school. It was like 7 something in the morning, 7:45, 7:50. About to go to school. My dad stands outside of the car, telling my mom to stop, and we're there for like 30 minutes while I send invoices for him instead of me going to school. So I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, it was really telling, because like what he said when I said, well, we gotta go, and he was like, well, you don't got anything better to do. Like, bro, I'm going to school, what do you mean? But again, whatever. But yeah, basically just this video is just basically me saying I'm average, I'm mediocre, and I don't really try to fight it anymore, because it's there, and I'm sure at some point it'll make me break down again, but I just have come to terms with it for now. And I feel like, okay, the thing that kind of awakened this the most was just seeing, friends I have, or people I know, family. So what my parents like to do more than anyone else in the world is compare me to other people around me. Or not even people around me, people they know, who they perceive to have a better life than I have. Or they're like, oh, why can't you be like them? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Why can't you, etc. And it's just like, bro, do you know what they do behind closed doors? Like, I do. And again, it doesn't matter, because they need to prove their point and make me feel like shit. And they always do that. They still do that. And I've just become desensitized to it. So then, now that I'm with these friends that I have now, and like I see that they're good at something, and it's just like, well, what makes me special, what makes me different from others? Because everybody has that, I guess, not everyone, because clearly I don't, but has something special that makes them different, or like something they're good at. And I've tried pretty much everything, and for whatever reason, it just never works out. Even so, you might say, well, you didn't try hard enough with this, or like keep going with this. There's always, for me specifically, there's always been a glass ceiling, no matter what it is I do. Even with physical training, so like track or soccer, like right when I hit my peak, or when I'm about to hit my peak, I would always get injured, no matter what. Whether it was a groin injury, whether it was a fucking shoulder tear, or sprained ankle, almost broken, bad knees, like no matter what, there was always something to deter me physically from becoming better. So it would always come right when I was about to hit my peak. And that was probably the most frustrating part about any sports or anything along those lines that I did. It's always something out of my control. Because the injuries, like, they genuinely happen just at random. Like, those ones, like your ankle twisting, or like your knee giving out for whatever reason, or during a game, or like someone tackling you in a certain way where like your groin gets injured. Like, all of these were out of my control. Some things just kind of happened and I couldn't stop them. And it's the same thing for like the times I've tried, being good at a certain video game or something. Time constraints, because for a while I was restricted on game time for when I used to live with my parents. And even after that went away, right when I started having freedom on how long I could play my games for, PlayStation 4, I was grinding fighting games. My fucking PlayStation gets struck by a lightning bolt. Well, not like the PlayStation itself didn't get struck, but like it struck our electrical. It fried our wires, basically. It fried my PlayStation's wires. So I just don't have one anymore because its wires are fried. So like even then, it's just everything kind of works in a way where like I'm not allowed to be able to be good at anything. That's why I started this channel, and even then I've been busy with school, or mental health problems, or actual fucking health problems, physical health problems, or just busy in general with school or trips or shit like that. It's just like, no matter what it is I do, there's always something stopping me. Even if I do end up committing time to something, I don't end up getting better. I hit my ceiling pretty fast because I'm not really, I guess I don't adapt well, and I might be on the spectrum, but that's I swear one of these days I'll take the test, and if I do have the tism, I'll just say I told you so to everybody who doubted me. But again, besides the point. Yeah, I don't know, I just kind of went on a long rambling about me feeling like I'm inadequate and just mediocre and average, which is all true, factually true. There's nothing I've ever done has really stood out, and I've always been middle of the pack. And I guess this video is just kind of me fully coming to terms with it, I suppose. Is there really anything that kind of sparked this? Not particularly. Maybe. I don't know. I guess seeing, all these friends I have be good at the games they play, I kind of, and Uma Musume specifically, like I've already gotten surpassed like twice-fold by multiple people. It's just like, well, that was like the one game I was good at. In Brawl Stars, I was never good enough to be pro, even though I was right on the cusp, but could never take that last step. So that was always sad too. Fighting games, I don't learn that fast, or I don't learn that well. And then even if I do learn in-game practice, I don't end up, I just freeze, stage fright, I guess, type. And I guess this also just kind of came about with the fact that even me trying to be funny doesn't work either, which was like the one thing I thought I had going for myself. But that NASCAR trip really kind of opened my eyes to the fact of how repetitive and boring I am. And which is why in the last video I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break from the other guys I talked with and am on call with, because they do the same thing and kind of just getting on my nerves that I kind of have to hear the same jokes over and over again. And also the fact that like things are never serious. Like very rarely do I get to have a serious conversation with people in there. Again, holy throwback to to the other server, but yeah, like rarely it is serious stuff. Like it's all satire, and it's already been like twice where I've been the butt of the joke because I don't know information everybody else knew and no one told me, and they were like, well, it was obvious. Like, bro, this is stuff that I don't know because I'm not on the same social medias as you guys are anymore. Like the only one I have with y'all is this one, which is Discord. But you know, I was the butt of the joke because I was the last to find out of a relationship between two people. That kind of sucked. Yeah, and then just the repetitive jokes were getting on my nerves. I was just like, bro, I can't stand this shit anymore. I gotta go. And now being here, I'm just like, facing your own mortality, I guess. Where you're just like, damn, I really am just average, and they have things they're good at, and I don't have anything. And it's just like, damn. Like maybe it is me, cause maybe it's me and I need to step away, cause this is a constant problem with like I'm fine for a while, and then as time goes on I just find flaws in things, and I'm just like, bro, why? Just stop, just enjoy it. And I can't, because I'm stuck looking at the negatives and I can't, move past it. And I'm just like, well, this could be better. I wish it was better. And then it just starts seeping more and more and more and more until it becomes, well, I need to leave this place. And that's why I take the constant breaks, because I'm just like, bro, if I just keep staying, at some point I'm just gonna crash out like I did in other places, and the friendship's gonna end again. So I don't know, we just kind of veered off topic. I'm just kind of worried that it always starts with like me getting tired of hearing like certain jokes or certain people just never being serious, and then it just ends up spiraling to me leaving or friendships ending. I don't know. Maybe. Nah, it is me. It is me. I feel it. I just don't know. I feel like, I guess, what is the word I'm looking for? I feel like I'm self-destructive, I guess. And at some point down the line, this thing that I finally have, people, friends, as much as they annoy me, or they may just get on my nerves sometimes with the things that I've listed out already, I'm just gonna end up, leaving or get into an argument that just ends up with me being outcast. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of rambling now. I'll see y'all in another video.